Sharks, who scored 24 unanswered points to secure a vital win. In other games, Kawana moved back into the fort, Noosa thrashed Hervey Bay, and Nambour locked down favouritism for the Cup after a big away win. This was an awesome show of strength from Nambour. Rowan Molyneux threw a great ball for the first try. Ben Smith playing in the centres coming up with the four-pointer. Bribey hit back when Sean Daylight showed a glimpse of solo brilliance to kick and regather. At 6-4, the tempo lifted, and it was the Crushers who went to the next level. Bruce Ratcliffe and then Darren Roberts with solo efforts from close range. Smith, as a roving agent, is dangerous, and he sent Paul Horn over as the lead hit 20 by half-time. The Warrigals cut that to a converted try shortly after the break. Paul Russell with a sweet ball for Matt Forrest, and then Brendan McDonald from dummy half. But that seemed to wake the sleeping giant. Shane Anderson capped a super game with a try of his own. Chris Evans crossed on the short side, and then Darren Roberts picked up a double as Nambour hit 40 points. Sean Daylight scored his second, but it came far too late against the side who looked the real deal. Jay Tedge typifying the Crushers, this chase denying a certain try and sending a clear message to the rest of the competition.
I'm pretty proud of my blokes. They stuck it out tonight. That's a very physical game of football. We showed in the second half we can match them. Some bad defensive lapse in the first half, let them get a big lead.
And Noosa stayed equal top with a hammering of the Seagulls. Angus Stewart scored 3 times in the 26-point belting.
In other results, Biawar defeated Gympie, the Swans trounced Hervey Bay, and Noosa won by 10 points against Caloundra. But it's Nambour who remain rock solid at the top of the ladder. A big test for Kawana, but Nambour is on fire. The Crushers off to a perfect start through Ben Smith minutes into the game. A Kawana retaliation for a wayward boot sparked a penalty. Rod West made the visitors pay. Late in the half, the ball fell nicely to Kawana's Shane Underhill. 2 minutes to the break, Crusher Darren Roberts cancelled any comeback. Early in the second, Nambour showed why it's on top of the ladder. Aaron Smith had the spoils. Teammate Rowan Molyneux crossed soon after. Tempers snapped in the tough encounter. They each got 10 in the bin, but once on the sideline, all was sweet again. On field, Nambour's rampage continued. West with his second, and then winger Sam Mawini rounding out a 38-6 whitewash of the understrength visitors.
Sat down and worked out a list of 20 names for first grade this week, and I think I had 12 that were on the injury list, and I think 5 couldn't play tonight. And in the first 14 minutes of the game, we lost our halfback and our 5'8".
Nambour went light on sympathy.
I think this club, from what I've known the last few years, have been in that situation before too. As we've done all year.
All right, now Noosa have got a couple of big guns back. They're on fire at the moment, but so have you. So, boy, this is a wonderful game. Where is Nambour going to have the advantage?
I just think that's a hard question. I'd say if we just all go out and have a real good dig, we'll be in it with the last 10 minutes, I reckon.
There's got to be somewhere that Nambour is going to get on top. Is it James Ward? Is it Rowan Molyneux? Whereabouts? There's got to be somewhere.
It's the whole lot of them, mate. The whole 17. That's what football's about. It's a team game. And James and those blokes can't do their job unless the forwards do their job. So I'd say that's where it'll be won or lost in the forward packs.
Nambour to win?
I'd say we'll just have a go, and so I reckon we'll get them.
And former Nambour Crusher Dennis Moore has been appointed assistant coach to Des Hasler at the Manly Sea Eagles. In 2002, Moore was in charge of the Sunshine Coast Falcons and was the Queensland Under-19 coach this year. Terrific stuff.
In Sunday's Red Rooster Cup blockbuster at Crusher Park between Nambour and Noosa. Just 1 point separates the arch rivals. A bumper crowd is expected for what many believe is a grand final preview.
The ledger stands at 1-1 between Nambour and Noosa this season, the Crushers racking up 50 points in a lopsided President's Cup in June. This comment sure to be remembered come Sunday.
Nambour have something to be proud of. They did a good job on my reserve grade side there.
But both sides are ready to play this time with the minor premiership up for grabs.
You always look forward to these big games. There's supposed to be a big crowd coming. sort of the anticipation of it's really, really good.
The Crushers' only loss this season was by 8 points to Noosa in round 8. Captain and 5/8 Rowan Molyneux says his side's fresh and ready to roll after the bye.
17 on 17 and it's 80 minutes of football, so it doesn't really matter. Like, you've got to show up every week.
Nambour's also holding a 1988 Premiership reunion this Sunday, ensuring plenty of support for the home side. It shapes as a cracker.
They've got a good side all across the park. You can't sort of focus on one aspect, but we're mainly concentrating on ourselves and sticking to our game plan.
On Saturday night, Bribie travels to Harvey Bay, BOR hosts Caloundra, and the Swans tackle Kawana at Quad Park. Chris Pace, 7 News.
However, managed to steal the limelight from the Crushers, scoring 15 tries against the hapless Premiers. The Pirates lost to Nambour, meaning Bribie Islanders is just now one win off the top two going into the final round. It was billed as a grand final preview and the early defence was earth-shattering. With former NRL coach John Boney on hand, the Pirates were the first across the line, Captain Greg Christensen leading the way. The home side answered its vocal supporters when Benny Smith sidestepped his way to a try, levelling the match. For the first time in 3 weeks, the Pirates went to the break in front, courtesy some good teamwork out wide. The Crushers needed an inspiration, and it was Captain Rowan Molyneux whose superb pass gave Smith his second. The Nambour juggernaut rolling on, Chris Evans scoring his first after some nifty backline ball work. They say when you're in front, your luck increases, and it did on this occasion. Jay Tedge crossing to make it 20-8. Noosa's trend didn't improve. Firstly ruled forward pass, then Angus Stewart marched for giving the ref a serve. Captain Molyneux leading the way again for a 26-8 victory and a minor premiership.
I spoke to them at half-time and said the way they've played all year, you know, it's a good thing, but I think they deserve that this year. You know, they've really put their bum on the line.
We spent probably 70% of the first half under defence, and that paid in energy levels when we got to the last 20 of the second half.
One gets the feeling the battle's only just begun.
Football's a funny game. You know, I won a minor premiership, I won a President's Cup, I didn't win a grand final. You know, maybe things are turning.
Forget play of the day, this could well be play of the year. The reserve grade match between Nambour and Noosa providing a remarkable finish yesterday. It's 26 all, Noosa with a penalty as the final siren sounds. One play left and Shane Scott becomes an instant hero for the Crushers. With that, Nambour moving to within 1 point of the second-place Pirates on the ladder.
Two teams lined up for the major semi, but it was Noosa who came to play, rattling up its opening four-pointer with just a minute on the clock. The host quick to respond, half James Ward, setting up a Marwini try. The veteran in the thick of it again, cutting out his backs to give second row Matthew Mapes a try. Then it was Pirates veteran Shane Payne doing his bit to lock up the game at 10 all. The oldies show continuing, Ward beating two to put the minor premiers in front by 4. Both sides suffered a hiccup on the eve of half-time. Mackenzie binned, followed by Money, who was lucky not to spend the rest of the game on the sideline. Noosa replicating its start to the first half with Dean Christensen crossing in the 7th minute. The perennial bridesmaid stepping up a gear, Mitch Simpson adding to the visitors' total. The marauding Pirates setting sail for the grand final with 2 more converted tries. The first a rampaging back rower Cameron Brosier, before custodian Wayne Morris finished off a Simpson break to make it 34-16. Brendan Williams driving the final nail in the coffin.
We gave ourselves 30 days to get to a grand final. We're there now, but we've still got one good game left in us.
Nambour left to pick up the pieces.
They're in there now, they're sooking, and so they bloody well should be. I hope they decide to get their fingers out of their bum and wake up. That's all I can ask.
And a field goal. The Crushers' high-flying act over as reality sets in.
But isn't football a funny game? It can soon bring you back to earth, and that's what hopefully it's done in here, brought them back to earth.
Noosa one step away, and the coach gets the last word.
When you go soft at all the wrong times, mate, it'll hurt. That's all I can say, it'll hurt. The only people I heard there were the silent Nambour supporters.
The Crushers must regroup against Bribie Island, who really did a number on Kawana. 4 first-half tries set it up, none better than Nick Curtis's effort. Paul Russell may hear more about this high shot on Craig Moore, but all in all, Kawana was outgunned in every department.
We were outplayed, out-muscled, outran by a better football team tonight.
The Dolphins' season over. Incident from Sunday's major semi-final against Noosa. This elbow by Steve Money has the Crushers upset. The number 9 was sin-binned, but amazingly the Pirates received the penalty after the Crushers' Stuart McKenzie was also binned for an incident in the previous tackle. Maguire will go over the video tonight. Mountain Creek High has resisted the urge to make changes to the squad easily beaten by Noosa in Rugby League's major semi-final last week. Instead, he has given his troops a chance to make amends against Bribie Island and earn another shot at the Pirates and the Premiership trophy. The word embarrassed has been used a lot this week by the Crushers. What happened against Noosa in the second half must and will not happen again. The loss hurt.
Fair bit, but that's football and that's sport, isn't it? I think that's what you learn out of sport. You've got to be able to cope with that because it's been a long time since these blokes had a loss. So, you know, their pride was hurt, don't worry.
The forwards were embarrassed by what happened on last Sunday in that second half, and, you know, they're willing to turn it around, and you know, us backs have got to get in there and give them a hand when we need it. And
Des Allen has made just one change. Russell Bebbington is out due to a virus and Nick Murray comes in. This week he wants his side to play a tighter brand of football.
Yes, for sure. That's where I think we let down a bit in that second half, and I'm pretty sure those 8 forwards knew that a bit. They've been reminded, so, you know, and Bribie, that's their strength too as far as I'm concerned, so it should be a cracker.
Both teams are one step away from a grand final. The Warrigals there, courtesy of a thumping they handed out to Kawana. Nambour's been exciting to watch all season, and Ben Smith is hoping he'll be running off some James Ward and Rowan Molyneux balls come Sunday afternoon.
I've got to give it to the forwards. They've probably been our strength all year. We've got a good forward pack, and that just helps, you know, Wardy and Mole.
The preliminary final will be staged at Noosa on Sunday.
Training tonight, it's pretty physical, so I think you're pretty fair dinkum. I mean, the coach doesn't seem to be too happy.
No, he's not happy about last week, but this week we'll do our best.
Would I be right in saying that really the coach, after last weekend's performance, he doesn't need to say too much, does he?
No, he doesn't need to say anything at all. Really, if we just get out there and do our job, should be right.
Well, the last time you played Bribie, you absolutely touched them up, gave an awful touch, you know, down there. The neutral ground, is it going to play a role this weekend?
No, it shouldn't matter at all, really. If, like I said, if everyone gets out there and does their job, we'll be fine.
Well, and, you know, James Ward led the way last week early, but you just went to sleep in that second half. I mean, is there some remedy for that?
I don't know. I think lack of energy, just a bit of the heat there, but we should be fine.
Well, you know, I mean, there'll be no heat this weekend, mate. Good luck this weekend and all the best, eh?
Thanks, mate.
Good on you, mate. There's Jay Tedge, a terrific young fullback, and Nambour will need him over the weekend. Now, there's a lot of footy finals.
In the preliminary final against Bribie Island. Nambour ran in 5 first-half tries to lead 24-0 at the break. Bribie tried to fight back in the second, but could never make up that deficit. After last week's lacklustre loss to Noosa, Nambour came out full of enthusiasm. Bruce Radcliffe charged over to open the Crushers' account. It was all one-way traffic in the first half for the green and red. Ben Smith crossed for a try, and the points kept coming. Rod West added another soon after. The Bribie defence was overworked early and Chris Evans found a hole. He set off towards his line, dodging several defenders, to run 90 metres for a crowd-pleasing solo try. And soon after, fullback Jay Tedge dived over to finish off the half. The momentum swung Bribie's way after the break. Sean Daylight crossed for their opening 4-pointer, but it was immediately nullified by veteran half James Ward. Bribie's Regan Pratton had worked hard all day, and his persistence was rewarded when he crossed the line. Nick Curtis narrowed the margin even further, but the clock was against the Warrigals. Nambour into the big one.
Very tough out there, very hot conditions.
The Crushers have gained confidence for their rematch with Noosa in Sunday's grand final.
Yeah, feeling pretty positive going into this one. I think we can do them.